I don't think that the Gacha system for Arknights Endfield is as bad as everybody's claiming it is online. In order to explain that, we need to talk about how the Gacha system and the banners work for the limited banner, which is pretty much the main focus for it. So, the limited headhunting banners have a max pity of 120. At 80 pulls, there's a 50-50, which either you get the rate up character 6-star, or you just get a standard 6-star. Each 10 pull guarantees a 5-star, which is basic for every Gacha game pretty much. Early soft pity starts at 65 with 5% chance increased for a 6-star. 80, as I said, 80 pulls guarantees a 6-star with the 50-50. So if you lose the 50-50 and you go to 120 pulls, there is a thing called a spark which guarantees you the limited character at 120 pulls. Now, this is one time per banner. This is a big reason of why people are angry. So, let's reiterate. 120 pull max. 80 pulls, 50-50. You lose the 50-50, you go to 120 to guarantee the rate up character once per banner. Okay. So, a lot of people are extremely angry because everybody's used to the new Gacha systems where it's either 80 pulls or 90 pulls with a 50-50, and they have to pull it up, again up to 90 pulls or 80 pulls. So, strictly speaking for characters, let's compare it to a popular Gacha game like Wuwa, because Wuwa is a 80 pull system. I think, yeah, 80 pull system. I haven't touched Wuwa in a little bit. I've been a little bit distracted. So, you do 80 pulls, 50-50. You lose a 50-50, you're guaranteed the character next one. So you have to spend another 180 for a total of, or not 180, another 80 for a total of 160 pulls to guarantee a character. In Endfield, to guarantee a character once, we'll have to get into the once thing. So, to guarantee a character on a banner, at least one time, you have to spend 120 pull max. So, already off the start of this, Enfield's Gacha system is overall better for gaining 6-stars. Because I'm honestly hoping to, this may sound weird, I'm honestly hoping to lose the 50-50 each time I pull on the banner, so that way I can get 2 6-stars. Because if hypergryph continues the way they've been doing their 6-stars, standard 6-stars might not be super useless as the game goes on, because as I've learned playing OG arknights, I mean, it's not going to be the same type of game, but if they continue their same pattern of not power creeping the hell out of characters and making them borderline useless compared to new units, or just borderline useless in general, I'll be using standard characters for a hot while, dude. If I'm being completely honest, I'll be using it for a while. So, let's go on to the whole spark system. Okay, so, yep, as I said, 120 pull max. But the spark system is where, we've mentioned it multiple times before, that when you reach that 120 point, if you lose the 50-50, you get guaranteed the rate up character once per banner. This is where people are having a big issue with, and they're also having a big issue with, to where after the 80 pulls, the pity to the spark does not transfer over to the next banner. So let's start with the spark first. I think the spark system is good for free-to-play players because it's going to reinforce the thought that building pity is not the greatest idea, because every time you hear someone talking about a Gacha system, they're like, oh, if you build pity, you're stupid. Or they'll be like, yeah, you should build pity, guys. It's the greatest idea. But in Endfield, they're telling you, no, you shouldn't be building pity unless you got the 120 pulls. And also, I am personally okay with the pity not carrying over after 80, if I'm being honest, because essentially it's a banner reset. That's really what it is. Because if you basically look at it, just take a step back and look at it, all right? You hit the 80 pulls, which is basically fucking modern Gacha games. Any other new Gacha games that do banners, all right? So do 80 pulls, 90 pulls, you lose the 50-50 or you win the 50-50. Banners reset. Essentially, that extra 40 pulls is a kind of a net if you lose the 50-50 in order to get the rate up character. Now, here's the thing before we continue. Now, this system on paper is extremely good to me, all right? But here's the big issue with this. These banners could be extremely bad if the pull economy and how many pulls they give on a per patch basis is garbage. If they give out like 60 pulls per patch, not enough to even get the 80 pull mark, I don't think the game will die, because I think the factory and the gameplay look great for Endfield, and that's going to keep a lot of people playing, but they're probably going to lose out on a lot of people if the pull system is extremely bad, or the pull economy is really bad on a per patch basis. I'm expecting it to be extremely good when the game releases, and maybe for like the first 4 patches to be extremely good, then it's going to drop off. So as of right now, with everything we have available to us, the Gacha system looks like, I think it's a lot better than everybody claiming it is. Like, I'm honestly hoping to lose the 50-50 at 80 pulls just so I can get 2 characters, because who wouldn't want 2 6-stars, even if one of them's only a rate up character? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I forgot to mention, when you pull, when you're pulling on the headhunting banner, you can earn up to 20 rebate pulls for the next banner. Now, there is a weapon banner. Let's move on to that. This is actually great. When you get a 6-star operator, you get 2,000 arsenal tickets, which a 10 pull for the weapon banner is 1,900 arsenal tickets. So every 6-star you get from the hunting banner will guarantee a 10 pull on the weapon banner, because the way the weapon banner works is you need arsenal tickets to pull. A 5-star operator gives 200 and a 4-star operator gives 20. So let's say you do 80 pulls, you get 2,000 arsenal tickets from the 6-star, and let's say you pull a 5-star 8 times. All right, you get 1,600 arsenal tickets, and then you get, let's say you get 10 4-stars. All right, you can just get a ridiculous amount of arsenal tickets just from pulling the 80 if these amounts I got are accurate. I pulled these off of I can't remember the website name, but so when you do a 10 pull, because there are no single pulls on the weapon banner, you are guaranteed a 6-star weapon every 4 pulls on the banner, and a 5-star weapon is guaranteed every time you pull. Now remember, every attempt is a 10 pull essentially. At 10 pulls, and then every 8 pulls after, you will either receive a 6-star selector box for any of the non-rate up weapons, or another copy of the rate up weapon starting with the selector. You can also, you obviously can get arsenal tickets from other sources like the protocol pass events, in-game shop, and probably other systems. So let's just say that you do 80 pulls, you get a 6-star, right? That's 2,000. You get, let's say, a 5-star every time. All right, so you get a 5-star every time, and that's 80 pulls. All right, that's not 80 pulls, that's 8 10 pulls. All right, so you get a 5-star each time, right? Then you get 2 4-stars each time, right? Jesus Christ. 2,000 arsenal tickets, Another 1,000 no, no, not 1,000. Another 1,600 Arsenal tickets. So you got 3,600, and then you get, let's say, let's just say you get 10 4-stars, all right? You get another 200. So you'll be getting really close, depending on how many 4-stars you get, to getting a few weapons. Now, I will say this. It could go really bad if they make each character completely useless without their signature weapon, because they totally could do that. Will they likely do that? I really don't know, if I'm being completely honest. So now that we talked about the weapon banner, let's go back to the whole issue with the headhunting banner, all right? So, the biggest issue that I am seeing is the fact that pity does not carry over after 80 pulls. You get 20 rebate pulls that you cannot use on the current banner, it only goes to the next one. And I'm pretty sure those 20 rebate pulls do not count towards the total pity on the banner. I'm not so iffy on that. Let me actually go and look, because I thought I read something about it. Let me actually look. While I'm looking this up, a bit, if I'm being honest, the majority of it, of the hatred, is just straight towards the spark system, because you lose the 50-50, you go an extra 40 pulls, you get guaranteed the character once per banner. This is where it differs from other games. So like I said, Wuwa, for example, because it's on my mind and I actually know how the gacha system works, 80 pulls for the character, and 80 pulls for the character, you lose 50-50, you have to spend at max another 80 pulls to guarantee the character. Now this is where it differs. You still have a 50-50 after that guarantee for the banner. Now, Arknights Endfield does not have a guarantee after you get the first guarantee. It resets every banner or every patch. That's what I'm not so sure about. So, 80 pulls, lose 50-50, go to 120, guaranteed, 6-star. Okay. Then, you do it again, you're going to have to spend another 120 or 80, and you're not going to be guaranteed no matter what for the 6-star. You have to wait for the next banner to start in order to get that guarantee for the first version of that 6-star. Which, part of me does understand the hatred around it, because it does kind of suck if, you know what, I'm not even going to try to defend whales. I don't like whales, because, I mean, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of whales. I understand they have a place, because, you know, they're the ones that are paying for like 90% of things, but, you know, that's just neither here nor there. But I'm fine with it. I would rather be able to run my luck on at 80 pulls, and if I lose it, I get a 6-star, happy, and then I just continue the pull and do another 40 pulls max, and then get guaranteed the character once per banner, because I am a extremely low spender, almost pretty much free to play on 90% of the gacha games I play, and I don't build pity because I think it's a waste. Because what if you do that 10 pull and you get the character that you don't want? It's like, oh well, shit, there we go, I'm probably screwed on the next banner. So the hatred right now towards Arknights Enfield's gacha system is way overblown, because they are either deliberately misrepresenting, lying, or just being straight up wrong about, oh wow, you're going to be completely screwed. And it really just seems like the people that are getting extremely mad are the ones that are spending thousands of dollars on a character, because from what I've noticed, a lot of the people complaining are just really big spenders. who are always getting 6ing each character, which is kind of hilarious. It seems like Arknights Endfield is going to be teaching players to save who you want to pull on, and only pull if you think your luck is the greatest or you have 120 pulls. I will say this, for people that have not played Arknights before, do not be scared of how much a 10 pull costs. It's pretty much the same thing. It's like 5,000 of the premium currency, which is, you're gonna get it, it'll be fine. You're gonna get a lot. All right. So, one last time, let's go back on everything. All right. 120 pulls max. 80, 50, 50. Do another 40. Guaranteed 6-star. First time each patch. All right. So, overall thoughts on this. The gacha system is nowhere near as bad as everybody is claiming it to be. A lot of people are overreacting. The big thing we need to be worried about is the pull economy after the first few patches of the game releasing, because it could go really bad once they start screwing everybody over on pulls, which I'm gonna hope that it doesn't happen, because I'm not gonna sit here and doom post about every little thing, because that's just boring and depressing, you know? So, yeah. Overall, I don't think this gacha system is as bad as everybody's claiming it to be. I think the majority of people are overreacting. I think the correct worries to have is that they could get extremely greedy with how often they give out pulls. They could completely screw over everybody. I think that the biggest demographic harmed by this banner system are going to be whales, and I think that's hilarious, because I'm going to laugh watching stuff like that. I'm a bit of an asshole, so yeah. Let me know what you think about the gacha system, and if you think it's going to be hell on earth when it releases, or if you think it's just going to be another gacha system, because we all need to understand that all gacha systems are inherently garbage. These games would be better off without them, or would they? And that's just the real question we need to ask. What would happen to these games if they did not have gacha systems? Would they be selling boxes to level up characters like those old ass, or like those Korean MMOs that pop up every couple of months, then die off and have like 10 players after like the first 6 months, you know? I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But anyways, yeah. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, alright? I'll see you guys on the next video, and I also stream every other day, pretty much. They're around 8 p.m. Central. I'm going to be streaming tonight. I'll probably be live when this video is uploaded. So, thanks for watching. Maybe pop in on the stream. Peace.